And we're off and running. Kickoff into the end zone. And it will be the first look for the Chattanooga Mocs and Preston Hutchinson. And a pass play as Sidney Brown makes the first tackle. It almost feels like they have been in Champaign for like 7 or 8 years. Lots of experience back there defensively. It'll be Ford. Third down defense, this is where Illinois has shined in the last couple of games. 3rd and 7. Hutchinson to throw and well off of his receiver.
Just get a 3 and out, get your talented defensive front on the field.
Gabe Boring is the punter here for Chattanooga. Isaiah Williams this year. And Brown takes the carry, and it's a pickup of a couple on that first play for the Illini. 6 passing touchdowns. His completion percentage has been very good. If he keeps those numbers up, it would be career-high numbers. Missing a tackler across the 50-yard line. It's Pat Bryant picking up the first down.
Getting other receivers involved in other portions.
The fake to Brown, and another connection to Bryant.
Including the head coach have begun to pick up the new offensive system.
A pickup of 26 for Bryant, and Brown on that play, 2,074 yards and counting on the ground for Chase Brown, and this time looking for 6, spinning away and pushing himself into the end zone. The Illini touchdown, a 9-yard push. Caleb Griffin with the extra point.
You know, I'm a big supporter.
He was a vegan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Past tense.
What did vegetables ever do to you, Anthony?
Just put them on a burger or something. That's all I ask.
Hutchinson getting pressure. And off the hands. Brings up 2nd and 10. Hutchinson. Good block that time to give him the space and the time, and the catch is made. 3rd and short this time. Another 3rd down opportunity for this Illini defense. Pressuring and in the face.
They went press man all across the board. We will see plenty of that from the Illini.
Isaiah Williams. Short punt. Awkwardly off the foot that time. The only Big Ten game going on here tonight. The toss to Isaiah Williams.
Lining up quickly, we'll see if they're going true tempo or just check with me.
Trips to the left.
Into it. There's a confidence that's continuing to build in the playmakers the Illini have.
Our goal tonight is to be more balanced in some of our early downs. Obviously, we rely on Chase a little bit and rely on the run. We want to look for more balance in some of these early situations. Over the head, first down for the Illini. Delayed handoff to Brown, cuts it back. His last run, a pickup of 9, just short of the first down, so 2nd and 1 here for Illinois. And DeVito goes down in the backfield. DeVito tosses it to Brown. Trying to look for that gap. 4th and 3, 40% conversion rate this year for Illinois. Off the hands and nearly intercepted by Chattanooga. What an opportunity. Kamyron Smith almost had an INT.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Elise, thank you very much, as Newton was waiting, and a tackle for a loss of 1. Johnny Newton, Jerzon Newton, everybody calls him Johnny. I mentioned the quarterback pressures have been leaders in the Big Ten for Newton in terms of hurries as well.
It's a very skilled and workmanlike defensive front that the Illini have here. Calvin Avery out of the lineup right now. T.Rod Edwards, freshman, Northwestern transfer, comes in. He's not much smaller than Calvin Avery is. He's every bit of 320 pounds.
On 2nd and long, Hutchinson pressured by Newton, and another quarterback hurry. Tackle is made by Kendall Smith. Back-to-back SoCon Offensive Player of the Week awards for the Mocs quarterback. Ford breaking off all kinds of tackles. First down pickup and more. Ford, a big run across the 20 and an ankle tackle by Seth Coleman to perhaps prevent a touchdown for Ford. 9 touchdowns and 10 trips visited to the red zone here for this offense this year. Hutchinson in trouble, just lofts it up. That is trouble for the Mocs and an interception for Illinois.
You expect man coverage from Illinois pretty frequently. They went cover 3, so those zone eyes allowed the play to be made.
Williams with a short pass play.
Season that game against Virginia, the way this defense got lit up. Had a little payback against the Cavaliers a couple of weeks ago.
Fakes the pass.
Looking for that last best opportunity to put their foot forward for a great finish to their careers.
Brett Bielema had his eye on Tommy DeVito for a while as that one sails out of bounds. Flips it over to his tight end for a first touch there for Luke Ford. I was looking at the sacks numbers. I even text you, Anthony. Am I looking at this right? Over 40 sacks in 2019. That pass play picking up a first down. Reggie Love III is your back here for Illinois. He's been playing the backup. Deep play, vertical pass route, and it was in the hands of Washington and then out of the hands of Washington. Look, movement again by Williams. He got tripped up. And all those tosses are forward passes too, by the way. DeVito rolling out and connecting with Miles Scott. Scott pushing his way over to the far sideline, and Illinois keeps moving down the field on this drive.
Barry Lunny testing the eye discipline, because one playmaker goes in one direction to the boundary side with formation into the short side of the field. You run another speedy playmaker to the wide side of the field, getting him out in space.
Just the second catch of the year here for Scott. An offense that has averaged 439 yards total in the first 3 games. Wide open touchdown! Is one of the elite places and elite environments in Big Ten volleyball as well. Hutchinson getting chased and tosses it over. Good coverage that time by the Illini defense. Devin Witherspoon and Martin there on the coverage.
And Lisa, Ryan Walters isn't reckless with pressure, but once he knows that I've got an opponent right where I want him, let's take a look at Isaac Darkangelo. Penetrating through the A-gap and then just finishing, laying heavy on the quarterback. That is a great feeling as a defender when you come scot-free and put all your force into the throw the football.
You and I were talking before the game. How great of a last name is Darkangelo? It sounds like the villain in a movie.
Yes, it does.
It's a great name for a defensive player. Darkangelo is in on that tackle and that play as we check in with Elise Menaker.
You know, the up-tempo offense, we can see how it benefits them, but I tell you what, it rubs off on this defense. There is an excitement and an energy about them. They're enjoying watching their offense play, and that's making them more engaged. The defense, they're communicating more on the sideline than I've seen in year past. They're just locked in, and there's an energy about them.
And you can see the substitutions made by Ryan Walters. You see he doesn't have a play card. He does have a play card and a call sheet, but he doesn't have it in his hands, has it in his back pocket, in his athleisure pants, is what Brett Bielema has said. He calls the defense based on flow. 3rd and 10 on 3rd down, rushed, Hutchinson goes down, and Gabe Eckes, the freshman, getting his first start and putting him down in the backfield.
He wrestled in high school against guys much bigger, much more mammoth than him, but the athleticism, the tenacity would take over at all times for this state champion. As he rushes the edge, I love the fact that he uses power here, but it's with pass rush mechanics. He gets the hands to the inside and presses the offensive tackle back into the pocket, then gets a violent release to make the play.
Lucas and Seth Coleman combining for that defensive play for Illinois.
Football in 60 is presented by Rocket Mortgage. For the playbook on home loans, Rocket can.
So far in his defense, pitching a shutout, 17-0, Illinois over Chattanooga. Brown with the carry. 7 catches for 147. Has certainly been a hot target. DeVito has spread it around to about 7 different receivers, and right on cue, Brian Hightower. Hand off to Brown. He finds a way to pick up. He would be the first Illini running back to get 5 straight 100-yard rush games. And the fake to him, and good coverage by a couple of Mocs defenders. DeVito looking to the right side. Another passing touchdown for Illinois for 17 yards, and Pat Bryant has it. As we said, you know, Barry Lunny Jr. wasn't, he was telling us the truth, to be more balanced. And so those numbers could even be a little bit more beefy than what they are, but the 107 yards in the air, already a career high in the first half for Pat Bryant. Hutchinson trying to slip that pass. They're always looking for the rip away that time.
We knew all their commodities coming in.
3rd and 2, a big pushback, and another 3rd down stop for this Illini D. Gabe Bourne, the punter. Lefty feeding Williams, who will let it bounce.
In the Hoosiers' opening game of the season, they came out with that win over the Illini.
A lot of learning lessons on that final drive as Brown tries to make his way. A pickup of about 9 on that run. Officially a gain of 8. You know, Ryan Walters in this defense, right? Just 1 series stop from being undefeated here this year. And certainly a learning lesson for the defensive side and just this team and this program as a whole. That game-winning drive by the Hoosiers for Indiana to pick up the win against Illinois.
Every phase has to be on point at all times.
3rd and 1 for Illinois. Who do you go to? That man. Look at that move! A cutback to the right side. What a move, Chase Brown!
The footwork didn't exist like this for Chase Brown last season. To be able to undress a defender in the hole and then immediately get back to top gear and advance on the 3rd level of the opposing defense. That's next level stuff.
13 carries, 89 yards, and the first score of the night. DeVito looking to go in the air. And Jonah Morris is his receiver, but a tackle for loss by Lowry III, who was on a hot pursuit.
Just love what you're seeing from Tommy DeVito in the game tonight. A level of control, comfort. You can tell that the time having the bye week since the last game was well utilized. Brett Bielema told us his coaching staff, they went through a self-scout, got a sense for what they felt like they did best and where they could feature the individual talent of their playmakers even better.
To Brown, pass catcher. And goes down hard. Quay Wiggles making the play.
You're right, it is a very fun name.
I won't get sick of saying that name all night.
It's a great hustle by Wiggles. Coming from the stack, chasing the football towards the side.
3rd and 9 for the Illini.
A couple of years ago on the Southern Conference all-freshman team, Illinois converted its last 4 3rd down situations. 5 of 7 overall. Here's DeVito. Some time to throw, and plenty of time to pick up that 1st down to Jonah Morris.
We had all kinds of time here. Tommy DeVito went through not only the first progression, but number 2, and then came all the way back on the curl route to number 3. And this is how you have to do it as Jonah Moore. Show him your numbers versus zone coverage. Give him a good declarative pocket and a target to deliver it to. Chattanooga's got some good pass rushers. That's a lot of offensive line putting in work.
Inside a minute 30 here before the half. Brown gets pushed back. Pickup of about 3 brings up second down, and a timeout is called. DeVito steps in and gets sacked.
Good thing Palczewski's able to get up and leave.
56 career starts for him. Trying to zip the pass, it's incomplete, looking for Hightower.
Palczewski trying to be the first 6th-year starter that any of us have ever seen.
How about that?
So make it through a few more games before that becomes official.
If they were to get to a bowl game and he starts every single game of the regular season in that bowl game, he could tie the NCAA career starts record. Already has the most starts in Illinois history. Illini fans would like to see him back in this game once the second half begins. Short punt opportunity. And the ball bounces back to about the 9-yard line. A long field to work with, 31 plus points in each of the first 3 games for this offense, but shut out here tonight.
And they're giving the Illinois second and third level of their defense really nothing to respect. So right now, all the eyes can be in the backfield, all the presence can be downhill at the Mocs offense. There is some ability here to test them deep. Just need to be able to give Preston Hutchinson enough time to try and deliver some deeper patterns.
And again, just like they did with the first quarter, they're going to let the final seconds tick off at the end of the second quarter. Reading the defense, what the defense was giving him the first couple of games, and a little bit more of a vertical game in that matchup against Virginia, and certainly his highest percentages here tonight. DeVito and this offense going back to work and immediately feeds Chase Brown. And so elusive, avoiding some tacklers.
Perhaps. You wouldn't necessarily assume that anyone is stat watching, but from Brett Bielema, perhaps as soon as he gets that century mark to keep his streak alive, maybe you ease Chase Brown towards the bench area.
Wondering that at halftime. Reading my mind.
You can add that to your package. It means the Illini throwing the football can be more versatile.
It's 3rd and short. DeVito had nowhere to go, and he goes down in the backfield. Maxwell, 6th year, one of the players tied back included on the defensive side, a core group of returners who decided to play a 6th year at Chattanooga. And Hugh Robertson with an 11-yard punt. Look at this field position to begin this drive for Chattanooga. And a big first down Kane, and there goes Ford. Comes into tonight's 6th in program history in terms of total rush yards. Back he goes, and down he goes. Just looks better with that hair, too, when he does something like that. Again, pressure coming. And Hutchinson, because of that pressure, overthrows his receiver.
Not have our quarterback, who's athletic, not be a stationary target.
One of 5 teams to not allow a touchdown. 43-yard attempt, his longest has been 45, and that is well off the mark. Officially the tally. We'll have to see if we get to see more of him, and in the meantime, first down play, Isaiah Williams.
Personal foul, face mask. Offense, number 1.
DeVito getting pressured. Over to Williams.
The 1-2 combination between he and Chase Brown could really pay dividends.
And again, over to no one.
happened a few times here.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the route tree will have some slight adjustments in it. Certainly seems that even coming off the bye week, Tommy DeVito not exactly on the same page with his receivers based off the leverage of the coverage, whether or not they're going to take the route deeper or break it off and more of a hitch to basket.
Robertson to punt. I'll tell you what, if you're not using an Australian punter, what are you doing?
Behind the times.
Robertson. That one bouncing and fielded, beginning at about the 30-yard line with this drive here for Chattanooga. Keith Randolph Jr. makes the tackle, brings up second down. Gain of 3.
A lot of folks are looking at what Illinois is doing to the Mocs in this game and just presuming this FBS versus FCS matchup is going as anticipated. Chattanooga's a good football team.
Picking up about 3 more yards. And to your point, Anthony, you mentioned Chattanooga was listed as a preseason favorite in the Southern Conference by both the media and the coaches. Rusty Wright told us I was actually shocked because they don't have the most preseason all-conference players here to begin with. But they lost their last 2 games of the regular season last year. A tight one to Mercer and a tight one to the Citadel. It felt like one game and the way they played kind of lost them both games at the end. They just missed the playoffs last season. Looking for a first down, and they pick up going to the tight end, Jay Gibson. And moving the chains are the Mocs, a pickup of 6.
Multiple players from this Mocs offense transfers from Western Kentucky. When I saw WKU last week, you know the type of offensive skill talent that they bring from their program. Jay Gibson, one of those individuals. Preston Hutchinson, an FBS transfer from Eastern Michigan. Some NFL talent on the offensive line as well on the interior. It's been a fun matchup to watch the Illini take them on.
Ford is working on a 100-yard rush game as well. 91 yards right now and a near interception for Nicholson of Illinois. And this defense, orchestrated by Ryan Walters, the defensive coordinator, with all this pressure coming. Look at that. Count the numbers.
They slide the protection, and then a limb forward just turns into a pinball, just bouncing between multiple oncoming rushers of the Illini, but putting his body in harm's way and attempting to help protect his quarterback so Preston Hutchinson can get the ball off.
On 2nd and 10, the turnaround by defensive coordinator Ryan Walters. You know, early from 2020, to the production of this defense from last year to this year has been impressive as we check in with Elise Menaker with more.
Well, you're talking, about Walters, and he's described as having a calming presence. But take a look at him before the game. Every Illinois game I cover, this is Walters getting hyped up, just kind of feeling the music. He just dances and is enjoying himself. And then he gets into the game, and he's really focused. He's just kind of in the zone. He's also been described as an extremely blessed communicator on the sidelines. I always see him come up to his secondary when they come out of the game. Then he moves over to the linebackers, and then he just kind of steps back and watches the game.
And looking for his defense to produce on another 3rd down, and down goes the quarterback, Newton the first to get to Hutchinson. And Walters giving a clap and maybe a little internal dance on that play for his defense.
Johnny Newton, they give him a little bit of the gritty as he approached the sideline there. But Ryan Walters knows precisely what he has available to him on this defense. There's a quiet confidence about the way he coaches them, and it instills that confidence in his players. You see it in the way they play the game.
Gabe Bourne to punt it. A low drive and punt.
Football in 60 is presented by Rocket Mortgage. For the playbook on home loans, Rocket can.
We showed you some of the Hall of Famers. He's a guest of Ron Gunther tonight. And going to the Bears game, I'm told, on Sunday against the Texans.
The ball carrier.
A gain of 4 on that play. We still see Chase Brown in this game. Brings up 2nd and 6. Working off of 105 yards and some tempo coming. Williams, he's a coming. Isaiah Williams will not be caught. Touchdown, Illinois. Longest pass play of the season, 63 yards. We just saw it to Isaiah Williams. And that puts Illinois over 300 passing yards for the night.
With throwing the football, with coming up with chunk yardage. It would be Minnesota coming in. The Illini showing it, maybe them as well.
Tough snap to handle, and Randolph Jr. making the most of it. Hutchinson with no place to go.
Randolph Jr. A loss of 7 yards on the play.
Once you see a quarterback can't handle the snap, it basically becomes a feeding frenzy from that point. It's like a shark smelling blood in the water. I remember early in the game, Keith Randolph had an opportunity to get the football in his hands. He did it briefly. And Hutchinson came back and poked it away from him before he got to the end zone.
Well, still the only turnover for Illinois here tonight. The offense has been clean. 2nd and 17. Bouncing off the pile until there. Calvin Avery, the first to meet him.
Gino Elberry, the ball carrier.
It's great to see Avery back in the game and still performing at a high level on the interior. And playing that nose position, he lines up as a zero technique really frequently, took on 2 blockers, shed both of them after getting skinny in the gap, and then wrestles the running back to the ground. That is spectacular work from one of the better defensive linemen in the Big Ten Conference.
How about this, 3rd and 17? Only converted twice on 3rd downs tonight, Chattanooga has. 3 minutes and some change left to play in the 3rd quarter. Good run by Appleberry, the backup running back, to pick up the first down. Sidney Brown brings him down.
Yet another WKU transfer who's joined up with this Chattanooga football program. UTC, no stranger to the transfer portal. And Appleberry, he's got a little more juice in the open field. Certainly a different style of runner than a limb forward. So it should be a good change of pace to have both of them operating at a high level moving forward.
Forward with 91 yards here tonight. Appleberry now with 21. Hutchinson again goes down in the backfield. Alec Bryant, the first to get to him with a sack.
It's a fun time to be a defender when you know the opposing quarterback has to hold the football, looking to pick up chunk yardage. That's one of the reasons that Gino Appleberry will need to continue to improve his game. You get one side of the pocket collapsing in with the twist stunt, and the other side evading running backs and tight ends. The entire Illini defensive front just getting home on a consistent basis. They've had a lot of pressure this season, LB, but not so many sacks. Now 4 sacks in the game tonight.
To Appleberry once again, brings up 3rd down.
It's one of the things I referenced in the champion's mindset for the game, is to be able to make sure they're finishing these plays, these opportunities in the backfield. They've been there frequently this year. They faced a number of offenses that get the ball out of their hands really quickly.
And well short. Newton makes the play. And a solid defensive showing by Illinois.
Such a technically sound defensive front. The pad level and hand placement that's necessary, especially as the blocking scheme goes away from you. He gets his shoulders turned and continue to work through the crease. It's an immense amount of effort it takes at that size to take on multiple blockers. And again, he came into this game leading his team in tackles.
Good punt, Gabe.
Fair catch call. Oh, it's going to roll all the way to the 1. How about that? We're going to start you on the 1 yard line and see what you can do. A quarterback switch. Chase Brown is the running back and trying to get out of the end zone. And Chattanooga says they got a safety. And just going to be marked just outside the end zone.
This would be an unfortunate way to lose a shutout.
I was thinking the same thing.
Shattered defeat in the backfield as the line of scrimmage gets pushed back by Illinois. The entire football has to escape the end zone. Looks like just narrowly it happens there for Chase Brown.
Tough situation here for Sikowski on the run, and pass is deflected. Good play defensively there for Myers. Brings up 3rd down.
Sikowski certainly able to throw on the move. Saw plenty of action last season, of course. It's he was the quarterback who transferred in and joined this program.
Good relationship between the 2 quarterbacks, DeVito and Sikowski, both New Jersey guys. Well, interesting to insert him in this kind of situation in the final few seconds of the 3rd quarter. Brown again trying to forward momentum, push his way out of the end zone and preserve that shutout. Maxwell doing his best to push him back. Let's see if Hugh Robertson can get it off. It'll be good field position nonetheless here for Chattanooga.
Can look like they looked last week, throwing the football. There's something to grow off of there and be more of a versatile threat offensively.
Rolling out, pass is incomplete because of the coverage by Martin. Tough by Quan Martin. Interception here today and a pass breakup on that play.
Well, I said how there's no chill for this defense. They give you nothing. Nothing comes easy against the Illini. Yes, there's a lot of man coverage. There's a lot of quarters coverage. There's cover 3. And they pattern match so well. They drive on every route. They contest every ball in flight. And when they don't blitz you, they still get home with their front 3 or front 4.
Hand off to Appleberry. Well, with the Thursday night game, Illinois will certainly be sitting on their couches on Saturday night watching that Wisconsin-Ohio State game. With the Badgers, of course, the next opponent here for Illinois on October 1st.
Isn't it interesting how Brett Bielema has sort of viewed so many of these different elements of his early season schedule as a positive? And he's just even referencing having Saturdays off as a positive. Now being able to sit at home this coming Saturday and just watching the rest of the competition around the Big Ten Conference.
Such an unusual schedule. We addressed it at the beginning of the broadcast. A week 0 game for Illinois. The Friday night game against Indiana. The Thursday night game tonight. The bye week in between.
My eyes have glazed over. I could not keep up with this.
Brett Bielema said that in fall practice, in the preseason, starters got 25% to rest them just a little bit. And boy, Hutchinson has had all kinds of visitors to him. Not the kind of visitors that he wants there in the backfield. I mean, you take your pick. There was like 4 blue jerseys around him.
Johnny Newton's been on a seek and destroy mission, and his teammates are joining him. I mean, you want to block him with 1, you want to block him with 2. That's not going to be plausible. And then all those blue jerseys lay it heavy on Preston Hutchinson.
Isaiah Williams, the punt returner this year for the first time in his career. Learning to be a returner and a wide receiver. Jason Pierce, now remember they used 2 different punters. And Pierce with his right foot drops that one inside the 20. 7 tackles for loss, 4 sacks, 8 quarterback hurries by this Illinois defense. And Chase Brown still in this game here for Illinois. Does that surprise you?
It does. It does. Especially when you consider that there's opportunities to get not only Reggie Love, who is an experienced running back and football player, some run here, but some of these other young football players who can maybe have the opportunity as well. You referenced Chase Hayden earlier. Aiden Loffery is a young running back they're very excited about as well.
Loffery is a freshman. One of the fastest on the team, they say. As Sikowski rolls out and finds Ryman. quiet day for the tight ends. Pickup of 1.
True.
Luke Ford, Tip Ryman. We've seen Marquez. Marquez does have a touchdown catch.
That's all he does. All he does is catch touchdowns.
It's just a ho-hum now for Marquez. Just another touchdown. Back-to-back games now for Michael Marquez. Got his first career touchdown on September 10th against Virginia after 46 games.
Run the exact same play again in Madison next week. Nobody believes they're going to throw it to him.
See what happens. Paul Christ right now is watching this telecast and taking notes on.
I think maybe Jim Leonard might be paying attention right now.
Right.
Cover 42. When 42 leaves the backfield, somebody run with him.
Brings up 4th down here for this offense. As Hightower looks to be shook up just a little bit. He'll get subbed out.
I don't think Jim Leonard needs a lot of advice from me. It's calling defenses, but
you don't think so, huh?
cover 42, Jim.
Hugh Robertson into punt on 4th down. Jaboy Mays, your returner.
Where's it going?
A low line drive punt. That's where.
What was he waiting for?
Right, right to the. Just trying to make things interesting. Keep you on your toes.
Suspenseful.
Anthony Herron. Cole Copeland is your quarterback for the Mocs. 6'3", 210 senior. And T.O., a teammate, an old teammate of head coach Rusty Wright. We had a conversation with Coach Wright about exactly that. He said, you know, when he was in college, when T.O. was in college, it was like he was like a broomstick, right? And to see the transformation of him. But, you know, it was interesting. He gave credit to Jerry Rice, too, for his growth as a professional. And, you know, eventually, of course, becoming a Hall of Famer.
An extremely proud alum of this Mocs program. One of a few different famous alums who've come from the UTC program. Of course, none more famous than T.O. So Mocs have made a change at quarterback. Cole Copeland checked into the game.
Copeland started last year 9 games. Athletic family. His dad played football at Tennessee Tech. His older sister Brooke played basketball at Florida. Older brother Bryce basketball at Lee University. But now facing a 3rd and 9 situation. And Copeland and trying to thread the needle, but getting the kind of pressure that Hutchinson was getting. Coleman in his face. Smith there as well.
This is rude. I mean, at a certain point, you've invited a guest into your home. You already beat up the first guy. You get this other guy coming in, you're beating him up too. They went with the trips formation, and pretty frequently when you go trips versus man coverage, it gives you an opportunity to separate the defenders based off the route combination. You run a scissors concept, you run a mesh concept. But the Illini are just so effective with their technique, still being able to plaster.
Coleman has been impressive in the outside linebacker position, trying to fill the holds of last year's Owen Carney, Isaiah Gay, no longer on this roster. It's Miles Scott. One of the top 10 ranked FCS teams in the country. Anthony Herron, Lisa Byington, Reggie Love III is now the running back. Art Sikowski remains the quarterback. 2nd and 4 for Illinois. Love cuts it back. He's got a first down, and he's got a little bit more. Over to the 45-yard line, brought down at the 46. And the other Chase, you see Chase Brown's numbers, but the other Chase, Chase Hayden, now in the game for the first time. They feed Hayden. Number 22 making his way towards the near side across the 50 and brings up 2nd down, a gain of 6 as Smith brought him down. Kamyron Smith. Look at Chase Brown. Well, Brown had 20 carries. I had Asbury Lunny Jr. this week, what's ideal. He said about that range, 20 to 25. He's averaging, coming into tonight, about 25 carries per game. Of course, the big workload, and this Illinois staff will tell you that they overworked him a little bit in that Indiana game. 36 carries against the Hoosiers that night. Hayden looking for the gap and stopped just short of the first down.
It is a delicate balance when you have a runner who's got the endurance and the maturity of Chase Brown. There's a trust that's built up in that. Of course, we harken back to the time Brett Bielema spent at Wisconsin and know that there's been so many times in years past where he hasn't only had one main ball carrier, he's had multiple ball carriers who's just imposed their will with the rushing attack on defenders. When Josh McCray comes back healthy, you'll have another extremely gifted runner as well. We don't know, as you referenced, perhaps Josh McCray will be healthy by next week when they travel to Madison.
Picks up the first down. Yeah, we don't know. Just in a few weeks is what we were told by the Illini coaching staff here this week. We do know that McCray didn't require any surgery for his injury. As I mentioned, he started to begin running again. But there's the brains of this offense. Barry Lunny Jr., the offensive coordinator. There is McCray, who, when he comes back, would be the backup running back to Chase Brown. What a hire by Brett Bielema. You know, you and I did the UTSA game here last year where Barry Lunny was on the other side, the offensive coordinator on the other side for a UTSA team that beat Illinois. And you follow Illinois football, you know the relationship between Lunny and Brett Bielema. But to me, Anthony, the interesting story, when they go back, and the relationship goes back many years, and Brett Bielema had talked about, like, this is my first time in my career that I've had a tempo offense to go as fast as possible. He's had to adjust practices, which has been a head coaching adjustment for that man.
The conditioning of the offensive line, the tempo that they operate with, how many reps go to the starters, how many go to the number 2 team, even in game. How do you actually receive plays during the action of the game? It's very different when you're going with the tempo offense, where when it's time to actually go hurry up, then the entire offense has to be trained to look over towards the sideline and receive the play via a signal, via play cards, as opposed to when you're a huddle-up offense, as historically the college football world has come to know Brett Bielema's teams operating as.
Meanwhile, some nice carries by the other Chase Hayden, who picks up a first down. Illinois with total yards, the most this season. 493 and counting here on this drive, as Reggie Love III is now your running back. And Love trying to chew up some time, but nowhere to go on that run. Maybe a pickup of a yard.
Not hockey style, but football style. All those big enemies up front roll out, and a new crew rolls back in. Right now, the center position being led by Josh Kreutz, who most of his action so far in his career has been as a fullback, actually in goal line scenarios. So the Bears legend Olin Kreutz. 9
running plays here so far on this drive for Illinois. And third down now for the Illini.
Nice finish on the run there from Josh Kreutz, by the way. The running back running up his backside, continuing to drive on his block. Interesting position Art Sikowski has been in throughout his career after he transferred in from Rutgers, a highly regarded recruit when he came out of high school, just like Tommy DeVito from the New Jersey area. Highly regarded from Don Bosco. Sikowski, highly regarded out of Jersey as well. Battled through injuries, came in key moments to help save games for this squad last year.
We wondered if we'd see Aiden Lawfery, the freshman, gets the carry, is short of the first down.
They're hoping that they'll get the opportunity to sort of
not exactly
add Aiden Lawfery in a little bit.
The opportunity to show your speed on that particular play.
Not yet.
Not yet. But 4th and 4, and the offense stays in.
Charge timeout, Illinois. They're first of the half. Be a full
Be a timeout here for Illinois. And some of those Wisconsin coaches, including head coach Yvette Healy, making the trip down. They still have a good relationship with Brett Bielema.
Aiden Lawford, the ball carrier.
And Aiden Lawford, the freshman, with the carry on 4th down. You know, and as long as, Anthony, as long as we're talking softball, we actually have a Hall of Famer of our own softball player on. I mean, you could do it right now real quick for us.
Practice, please practice.
Yeah,
please.
we don't have time, you guys. We gotta go. We got a game. You don't want to hear
She was at least you were a third baseman.
Floss.
With Daniel Barker. I forgot about that.
don't ask. Yeah, I did too until you just said that. Don't ask about that.
Maybe you could bring back the floss during your Hall of Fame speech this weekend.
Are you asking me to do that right now? Oh, the Hall of Fame? Yeah, because I was going to say that's not happening. It probably won't happen this weekend.
That is so great.
That is awesome. Congrats again. All the
Thank you
Famers
guys
around.
so much.
How many Halls of Fame are you in, Lisa?
I'm in my high school Hall of Fame. That's it.
Look at you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm surrounded by greatness.
And you?
Oh, I'm in no Halls of Fame. I don't like to make history. I just like to be history adjacent.
Okay. Adjacent to history.
Yes.
I got it.
Why make history when you can just be near it?
Just stand next to it.
Look at that. I mean, you've only got an award named after you by the Big Ten Conference as well. We won't mention that.
First and 10 for Chattanooga.
Well, I mean, let's get this back to football talk here, right? As we get down to the final few minutes.
As you win.
We're singing. The takeaway that you have here for Illinois, Anthony, before we sign off is what?
This is a team that has outplayed every opponent they faced so far this season. They didn't make the plays at the end to win that Indiana game. But we've been talking a bit so far about the non-conference schedule of Minnesota. We're going to find out more about the Gophers on Saturday when they travel to East Lansing. But in the Big Ten West, we know teams can play defense. We know teams can run the football. Who emerges from the Big Ten West, I believe, will be a squad that can be versatile on offense. They can pick up chunks through the air. We're now seeing the Illini showing themselves as a team with that potential.
Defense that shut out one of the top FCS programs, a top 10 program in the country, and an offense that showed more of the vertical game here tonight, and an offense that didn't turn the ball over.
Coach, undefeated in non-conference play for the first time since 2011. Just a total team effort today. What impressed you the most?
You know, I liked our guys' demeanor during the bye week. Thought they really came prepared to work. We got in a good full week work on Chattanooga. Good football team. Obviously, we came out aggressive. Didn't like the way we ended the half, and I didn't like the way we started the second half. But a lot of good things heading into kind of a long week here before we go to Wisconsin.
Chase Brown, it's his 5th straight 100-plus yard rushing game. He's the first Illini player to do that. What are you seeing from him?
You know, I think we're just scratching the surface. He's a very talented player. He's got great vision. He's got a good burst. He can run through people or run around people. Really excited to see where he can go and continue to build our offense. I thought a lot of our offensive players touched the ball in the first half, so a lot of positive things going in the right direction.
You also had 2 receivers with 100-plus yards. Your defense, a shutout tonight. What impressed you the most about their effort?
You know, we thought they could run the ball, so we needed to bow up and play good run defense, and I think they capitalized in being able to stop the run, make them play a little left-handed. Thought our guys made big play opportunities, and then in the second half, we got a lot of players in there getting valuable reps for down the stretch.
Coach, thanks so much.
Thanks, Lee. Appreciate it. ILL.
Chase, it's another 100-plus yard rushing game for you. That's 5 straight. You're the first Illini player to ever do that. When I tell you that, what does that mean to you?
I mean, it feels really good. This team's put a ton of work in together, and you know what? A big shout out to Illini because they're making my life easy back there. Their decisions, they're opening up holes, and without them, I won't be able to do it.
Coach was saying you're just scratching the surface. What more do you feel that you can prove out on the field?
Well, you know what? We're going to Big Ten play here, and those are the games that matter. You know, to show the Big Ten, you know, our fans, everybody supporting this team, you know, winning Big Ten games is what matters, and that's what I'm looking forward to.
Before the game, I was talking to Alex Palczewski. He was just talking about how humble and down-to-earth you are, and that makes it really easy to block for you because you're putting in a lot of effort every single day to win the games. What does it mean to you when you hear that from your teammates and the way you guys can work together?
Well, you know, it's a two-way street. I mean, they're great players, too. And the work that they put in and, you know, what people don't see, you know, that's they're doing a lot on their own. And you know what, the fact that, you know, he's giving me a shuttle for that, you know what, they did a really good job today.